In this video, I'm going to be talking about using manual prime lenses on the Sony FX6 as well as clear image zoom. Here's the story. Recently, I did a multicam video shoot for a music performance. We used 5 cameras in total: the Sony FX6, Sony a7S III, Blackmagic Ursa Mini, Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro, and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. For our lighting setup, our key light was the Aperture 300D with the Aperture Lantern. For the backlight, we had an Aperture f7, and that was the backlight of our left guitarist Rohan, and that also gave a little bit of fill light for our right guitarist Carlos. On the right hand side of set, we had a side light, and that was giving a little bit of fill light for our guitarist Carlos and also lighting up a bit of the background. That was an Aperture 120D, and we had a light dome on that as the modifier. On the floor in the background, we had some LED panels, which were the Aperture HR672s, and that was just to give a little bit of light onto the walls. We used a reflector for some fill light on Rohan. For the practical lamp in the shot, we had the Aperture B7C. And we also had 3 Aperture MC lights on the bookshelf in the background, which was on and off on certain takes. The Sony FX6 is known for having great autofocus, and up until now and with this project, I'd mainly use autofocus lenses, Sony lenses on the Sony FX6, and haven't been using any manual lenses. For this project, however, I thought it would be a good opportunity to test out my Carl Zeiss lenses and also use some of the client's Samyang cinema lenses as well on the Sony FX6. For some of the takes, I used my Carl Zeiss 85mm f1.4, and for some other takes, I used the client's Samyang 50mm t1.5. For a shoot like this, I typically like to lean towards using lenses that are quite versatile, and that would mean not shooting with prime lenses and using my Sony 24-105 f4 lens. But for this project, I ended up using prime lenses and then experimenting with clear image zoom to see if that would give me a bit of shot variation and give me the versatility that I was wanting for this shoot. It was also a good opportunity to test out and see how my new small rig mini follow focus could perform on a shoot like this. Now, the idea with clear image zoom is that you can magnify your image up to 1.5 times. And I typically don't use clear image zoom because once you enable clear image zoom with autofocus lenses, which I normally use, it disables the autofocus function. However, with these manual prime lenses, there's no autofocus, so that wasn't really a consideration or drawback with using clear image zoom. From what I can see with clear image zoom, when you zoom in 1.5 times, you don't really notice any image quality loss. For this project, we were shooting in 4K, and the deliverable file will be 1080 HD as well. So when this video ends up being published and delivered to its audience, the resolution is going to be downsized anyway, and I don't believe there'll be any perceived image quality loss once it gets to its audience. Overall, I was really happy with the experience in using the manual lenses with the small rig mini follow focus and also mixing it up with clear image zoom. Having clear image zoom did give me a bit of versatility with getting different kinds of framing with the shots I was recording. Because I was situated on a tripod and not moving around getting handheld shots, it did help out with getting different types of framing and giving my editor more options in post. As of recording this video, the performance videos haven't been edited or published yet, so it will be interesting to see how all these cameras work together. 5 different types of cameras, 2 different types of camera systems, 3 different sensor sizes. So with the Sony cameras, they're full frame sensors. With the Ursa Mini and Ursa Mini Pro, that's Super 35, and then the Pocket 4K, that's a Micro Four Thirds sensor. Having all these different types of cameras, different sensor sizes, they do give different looks, but the one thing that we do have going for us is we were using on all the cameras different manual prime lenses. And although there were different brands, it was Carl Zeiss and Samyang, hopefully the editor is still able to get some sort of consistent look across all the different camera angles. Normally, one rule that I have when recording multiple cameras for a single project like this is to use the same camera with the same lens, or at least the same lens brand. However, in this case, rules were made to be broken. But let me know what you think. Do you see any quality loss on your device when you're watching this video when I zoom in to 1.5 using clear image zoom? And if you do, let me know in the comments and let me know what device you're consuming this video on. I'd love to hear that in the comments. And that's the video. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel for more videos on video production in the future.